So, here it is, the 2016 LEGO Death Star playset. I have not had this for years in storage. I have also not bought this second-hand. No, this is actually fake LEGO from AliExpress. Sorry about that, guys. Before I get into this, I just want to let you guys know that at any point in this video, I do not actually mean that the quality is anywhere near the standards of LEGO. So LEGO is just so much better for quality standards anyway. And I think you just have to look at it from a point of view of price. This is a tenth of the price of the real thing, and the quality is still pretty good. So let's get into the in-depth now. Before we continue with the video, I just want to mention that to clean all my LEGO sets, I haven't done it for a while, I use a Clean My Bricks Hoover. This is about £90 or so. I got it on offer, and it comes with a few different tools and stuff that you can put on the end to clean different parts of LEGO, but it's really good to get, you know, all those bits of dust off, and it works really well. So I'll get into the video now. Okay, let's start at the bottom and work our way up. So at the very bottom, we have this little kind of storage facility area. Put a little commander there with some railings there, and you can see the lift behind him, a few barrels and stuff like that. Just, you know, debris and stuff hanging around. Let's move our way up a little bit to the second section. Over here, you can see we have this little reactor, I guess, the one that we see in New Hope, that Obi-Wan Kenobi, who's over here, you know, switches off the reactor, something like that, so you can recreate that if you'd like. Moving our way across, we have a very famous scene, one of my good favourites, so the light can see. It's the trash compactor scene. As you can see, we have the compactor. I've put Luke in there right now, holding a stick and a helmet. And it has a really cool function where if you push this little rod in, you can enclose it, but because he's holding the rod, it doesn't really go very far, unfortunately. So I might show you that later in the video. I also want to quickly mention that there is a little function back here, which when you pull, opens the door to the lift area. And you can just close it easier like that. Moving across, we have our first laser gun thing. This has got stud shooters, so I found they don't really work very well, unfortunately, but that is, you know, not, that's the price you got to pay for getting fake LEGO, I guess, but, you know, it's still pretty good, although that did just come off, so let me just fix that. Moving across, you may notice we have a little lever here, which when we spin, if it'll work, maybe I spin it the other way around. And see, this is the thing, I'm not very good with rope and LEGO. There we go. Oh, it feels like it's doing something. There we go. You lift it up, but unfortunately there's a TIE fighter there, so he can't go very high. Unfortunately, let's just push him down. That is the one drawback of not having enough room in the LEGO set. Carrying on, we have a little crane thing, which I guess holds ships and stuff and picks things up, picks crates up. We've got a little armory over here, a lever, a chair, just, you know, random stuff. We've got some ladders leading up to this area, which leads into the open area, which I've put here. I'll just put a few random figures here, which has some stormtroopers here. And I put Ben Kenobi there as well. And this, I've just added this, so, you know, if I want to put Luke Skywalker somewhere, you can hang across like that and save the princess. Moving up a floor, we have the main climactic scene of the trilogy, where we have the battle with Luke Skywalker facing up against his father, Darth Vader, being watched by Palpatine. I've got his lightning out already, but, you know. And then we've got some guards there, just watching it unfold. There's a little play feature here. You can knock that over, make Luke Skywalker fall over, which is pretty cool. I also really just like all the details we have here, like the throne, these little things here with the blue things, and then we've got the window there that's supposed to lead outside, but actually just leads, you know, back inside. Moving across, we have one of my favourite rooms, the prison room. I'm not sure why I like this one so much. It just kind of feels nostalgic to me, having the old visual dictionary and stuff like that. Anyway, we have Han Solo. I'm just going to say the quality of these fake minifigures was not as bad as I've experienced in the past. I mean, and the helmets weren't that bad either. I mean, but also I wanted to just mention that I've added a few of my own figures from my collection to this, so you'll notice a few more modern ones. Then over there we have Princess Leia, and I really like this effect they've got here, where, if I can get it focused correctly, you can see it kind of, there's a sticker there, which makes it look like it's going back really far, and they've got this really cool zooming kind of effect going on. We have this pull-out prison wall, which you can see there, leads into a prison cell, and then you can twist this, and that actually pushes it. So let me just that's open. There's a little hatch to that prison cell. See opening there, and then over here we have another twisty thing, which if I can get it to focus correctly in the right area, you can see opens and closes the hatch, which leads all the way down into the trash compactor. Moving across, we have one of the main, you know, points and functions of this entire set, which is the laser, you know, the one that destroys planets, the planet destroying laser. Let's just have a look at the inside before we have a look at the laser itself. I put a stormtrooper here, but we've got some, you know, people on the command stuff. It's great. I quite like this view because you get an accurate look at it in the film, where you see this sort of command desk looking at all the functions of the inside with the glass. I like that little nod to the film. Then let's actually look at the laser here. So what we have here, I like the building techniques here. You can see we've got these 2x1s with the connecting pieces all connecting to make a circle. It's really smart actually. And then we have a little dish plate in the middle connected to another dish plate at the back. And then we have these kind of vibrant green pieces here to, you know, make it look like it's a laser shooting out, and I like what they've got there. Lots of different ones. But one thing I would say about this is very fragile and just comes off. I think that might just be because it's from AliExpress, but you know, I'd never know because I don't have the real one. But in the comments, if you have the real one, let me know if this is flimsy just in the actual design. Continuing in that same space, we have a door, which, as you can see, opens like so, opens and closes like that. And there's actually a little thing which you can open and close with. It's difficult to show it, but there's basically a little notch just there next to where I put C-3PO, which opens and closes that door. And next up, we have the hangar bay. So I've got put this TIE fighter here, which comes in it, which is Darth Vader's TIE Advanced. You can see it's hanging from the ceiling. You can see that's the lift, which leads down to there. Then I put a few stormtroopers from my collection just hanging around there, as well as a droid. And then you can see there's the ugly back of the window from the main scene battle bit. Moving upwards, this is our first bit on the top floor. Just move the lamp, see better. You know, so I've just put these guys in here because I couldn't find a better place for them. We've got just a table with some stuff. I think this is a kind of manufacturing area with tools and stuff. I'm not quite sure why they included a tool set. It's not very Star Wars like, is it? Anyway, continuing on. Here, you can see we have the really cool function of the lift, which is, don't know where it is now. Is it near the top already? Yeah, it's already at the top. Which you can put down all the way. Let's see it go there. Something fell off of it then, but you know what? Deal with that in the future. And you can just see it going all the way up. Really neat function. One of the best parts about this set, just really cool. Moving across, going this way this time, we have these guys who also are controlling the super laser. As you can see, this controls the height and elevation of it, where it's pointing, which is also really cool. And then if you twist it, it changes where it's looking. You can also see there's a little neat Easter egg there, the planet Alderaan on a screen.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I wasn't asking you, Alexa. Sorry about that, guys. Back again. What you can do is you can take this out, turn it around, and there you go. Put it in like that, and you have a different display. But I like to keep it on Alderaan because it's a very Death Star-y thing. You know what I mean? Moving across again, knock that off. Got this table scene here. I don't have Darth Vader in here, I have him somewhere else. But this is the scene where, Tarkin is talking to all the other officials and stuff. These aren't all from this set. I have just taken them from places around my collection and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's Grand Moff Tarkin. Let's turn around so you can see him. So this is a fake Lego figure. Keep in mind, that's fake, and it's pretty good quality, but you can always tell on the face because all the features are really standing out in that orange colour. But the rest of it is pretty good. The printing isn't bad. The mold is pretty good. I think they just stolen it from Lego. Then moving across, we have these turbo lasers, which you see in the trench run scene. Not quite sure why they're here, but doesn't always have to make sense, does it? That one basically does the same thing. Although that one's slightly more loose than that one, I found. But you do get these kinds of inconsistencies when you're buying fake Lego. And then we're back to this room. And I think that is the in-depth complete. That was the in-depth over. So, now over to business. You see, this was, I think, about £110 or something. Really good, really good price. But this is fake Lego, some flimsy bits, and you always run the risk of getting missing pieces, broken pieces, because the quality is not as good. So I would recommend if you want it really long term and you're a die-hard Lego fan, get it second hand, get it from Lego reseller, something like that, but the official one. Pay full price. But if you're like me, still a Lego fan, but don't have the money to really pay for things like this, I do recommend the AliExpress one because it's really cheap, and the looks wise, it's really good on display in my room. I've got quite a few AliExpress ones now, and I'll make some more videos on them in the future because the quality is surprisingly similar to Lego, especially when you pay for the bigger sets. The instruction quality and everything gets just so much better. Anyway, I think that'll do it for today's video. So, keep watching, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Legends, peace.